What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Matty B, finally back with some Matty B wrestling content. I've been away for a little while. Obviously, there's been a lot going on in wrestling since then. In my life, I've been back to work full time, so it's been hard to find time to do any kind of wrestling content. I do have a newborn child who's just over a year old now, so that's been taking up a lot of my time. Kids are back in school, so I'm having to take kids to school, pick up kids from school and daycare. So there's a lot less time than I had last year when I was able to, and even earlier this year when I wasn't working, and I was able to spend a lot of time making content, which was fantastic. Trust me, I do miss it, but life calls and things happen. But nonetheless, I'm here. We have a big show this weekend, AEW All Out. Should be a fun show. Maybe not as anticipated, other than maybe a certain match, a certain person being there, as previous All Outs. But nonetheless, I'm very excited, and we're gonna go through the match card here, and I'm gonna kind of just give my predictions, what I think is gonna happen, maybe surprises, anything like that. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Matty B Wrestling on Twitter. I have a Facebook, Matty B Wrestling, Instagram, Matty_B_Wrestling. I got some merch, the classic NWO style Matty B Wrestling t-shirts. I only have black and white ones. This is a special one that my guy who made them for me did for me. That way I had an exclusive in case anyone wants one. But I do have some few sizes left. If you're interested, like I said, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I can mail them out anywhere in the main 48 of the US. So let's get right into it. So we have the Women's Casino Battle Royale. Winner of that gets a shot at the AEW Women's Championship, which of course will be decided later in the AEW All Out card as well. So far announced for the match, there's Big Swole, Julia Hart, The Bunny, Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, Red Velvet, Tay Conti, Penelope Ford, Diamante. Of course, there will be a Joker, wild card person, which a lot of speculation and rumors are pointing towards Ruby Soho, the former Ruby Riott in WWE. Been making a lot of little vignettes and stuff, very cool stuff. If you haven't seen them, check them out. But nothing confirmed. Obviously, it's always a surprise. But if it is her, that'd be very cool. I think they'll go with somebody who's not the Joker, which I'll probably say would be Thunder Rosa. I mean, I know we've had Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker a ton, but they do a lot of great work together. They've had some of the best matches in AEW over the past year or whatever they've been going at it, especially during the pandemic era. So I'm going to say Thunder Rosa wins that, gets another shot at the AEW Women's Championship. But it would be really cool to see Ruby Soho come out and make her presence felt, so to speak, because she is pretty awesome, and it's a shame that she got released from WWE. But then again, worked out a lot better for many people once they get released. So hopefully the same works for her. Then we have the final fight between Chris Jericho and MJF. If Jericho loses, he'll never wrestle in AEW again. So I think a lot of people are looking at that as Jericho's going to win because he doesn't seem to be ready to retire. As far as what he's been doing, he's been having pretty high caliber and important matches up to this point. So people are looking at that as he's probably going to win. I don't think he will. I don't think he should. I think this should be MJF's time. He's been hot. He's the biggest heel probably in all of wrestling. And he's been doing a lot of great work. This could be his thing that he holds on to, that he holds over Jericho, that he's never lost to Jericho, and that he retired. Nobody really retires, but that he retired Jericho from AEW and sent him to the announcer's desk, which Jericho does on Rampage. Great job, by the way. But I think this is MJF's time. He should win, and maybe Jericho takes a little bit time off and then comes back, and maybe someone can override that decision, and Jericho comes back for a special occasion here or there. So we'll see. But I'm going to go with MJF on that one. Then we have the biggest match on the card, Paul White versus QT Marshall. Just kidding, that's not the biggest card on the mat. Well, maybe. Big Show. Sorry, Paul White is the biggest guy on the card, so could be the biggest match on the card. See what I did there? Just kidding. But I don't know. This match doesn't seem like it's really gonna happen. It's kind of random and weird. To bring Paul White out just to go against QT Marshall doesn't seem very. It's very anticlimactic in my opinion. But then again, you never know because AEW at this point has a ton of people on the roster, so eventually they're going to have these kind of matches that don't really mean anything, but they have to put them on just to kind of maybe calm the crowd down or something in the middle of this stacked card. So we'll see. But if anything, I don't think they'll bring Paul White out to lose in his AEW debut, even though he's kind of the guy that would love to do that and put over the other younger guys. So, but I don't see him happening. I'm going to go ahead and say Paul White wins this. Yeah, not too excited about that one. But something I am excited about is Andrade El Idolo versus Pac. So, Pac's been around with AEW since probably the beginning, and El Idolo is the new hotness. But these two, I'm sure, are going to have a fantastic match. This is my most anticipated match. The fact that there's no stakes or anything maybe kind of throws me off a little, but I do also think that it helps for whoever loses. In my prediction, I think Andrade is going to win. So it helps Pac that it's not a main event match or like a top of the card match. It's kind of middle of the row. Not saying they're middle of the row talent or anything by any means, but as far as the card and its lack of stakes, it's kind of just a middle of the card match. So I think that'll help Pac in a loss. So I believe Andrade's going to win. He is kind of the new hotness, and he just came off that AAA loss for the Mega Championship against Kenny Omega. So I don't think him losing another one on a big pay-per-view would be helpful for him. I think he can take this win. Pac can take the loss, and it won't be that much of a big deal for him. But I am looking forward to this match, probably the most out of any match on the card. And I think it should be a good one. These guys are going to go a million miles an hour and beat the crap out of each other, and I'm excited for it. And then we have, let's see. We have everybody's favorite person in AEW, Jon Moxley, taking on Kojima. Not necessarily the match everybody wanted or predicted, but still should be fantastic. I know a lot of people wanted to see Tanahashi, and they kind of teased that at Resurgence, and Tanahashi actually called out Moxley. So, I mean, that'd be great, but it's not going to happen because Tanahashi will be in Japan for a show day before, I believe. And that travel situation would be a nightmare trying to get him to Chicago after wrestling in Japan the night before. So, don't think it's going to happen. But, of course, Kojima is there. It'll be a good match. Moxley, there's no reason he should lose, and I don't see him losing. He's like the hottest guy on the card, like in the company for ever, pretty much since he got there. So he can do no wrong, but I think he's gonna take this W for sure. Then, of course, we have the tag team championship match: the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros in a steel cage. So, of course, this is gonna be a spectacle. These guys always go absolutely crazy when they wrestle each other. I can't remember them having a cage match ever, but we've seen tons of matches with them, so we kind of know what to expect. A lot of stuff's gonna make you clench your butthole up and get scared and maybe worry that something bad's gonna happen. But hopefully they stay safe. Obviously, they're very good at being professionals, and it should be a fun match. I don't see the Bucks losing at this point. It just doesn't seem like the right time. Which kind of sucks for the Lucha Bros because they've had multiple opportunities to win the tag team championships, and I don't think they're going to win them here. But nonetheless, should be a fantastic match, and Young Bucks retain. And we got, Miro, the TNT champion, versus Eddie Kingston. This is for the TNT championship, obviously. Miro's been an absolute tear. Kingston's kind of bulletproof when it comes to losses. I don't see him winning this. I don't see the point of him winning this. I'm going to say Miro retains, and I think he should retain for a long time. I don't know who will beat him. I don't know if the person to beat him is there yet, but I don't think he's going to lose this. He's just an absolute beast. This is the Miro we've always wanted to see, right? You know, he should have been destroying people like this in WWE much longer than he did. Never should have lost to Cena. He should have. That should have been his crowning moment, you know, at WrestleMania 31. But nonetheless, that's in the past. We have him here in AEW now, and I believe he's going to win this TNT Championship match. Kingston should be fine. He's always going to be relevant as long as he's hanging out with Moxley, of course, and as long as he can talk, because his talking is unbelievable, and he'll put himself over by just, or get himself over rather, by just talking, no matter what happens in the ring. So Miro will retain his championship here. Then we have the AEW Women's Championship match, which of course is Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. And, you know, Britt Baker, I don't think there's any other match, maybe besides the Moxley one, that I think is 100% a lock, and that's Britt Baker winning. Nothing against Chris Statlander, but Britt Baker has just been, you know, the shining star in the AEW women's division for the longest time. She should keep that championship for a really long time. Doing great work. She hasn't cooled off. She's still the hottest thing in the women's division there, and there's no reason she should lose. Chris Statlander will, I'm sure, give her a great match and look fantastic because she is, but there's no reason Britt Baker is losing, or should be losing, that title until way further down the line. Then we have the much anticipated return of CM Punk, who came back to wrestling after 7.5 year hiatus, and returned to AEW in a couple weeks ago at Rampage, the debut Rampage, maybe 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Yes, and he's taking on Darby Allin, AEW's homegrown little superstar Jeff Hardy guy, with Sting, of course, at his corner. Darby Allin's fantastic. They kind of been teasing this since before Punk debuted. Darby Allin kind of called him out, made some references to Best in the World. Of course, at Rampage in his debut, CM Punk and Darby Allin had their little back and forth and, you know, set up this match. So very interested to see. I was never a big, I don't want to say I wasn't a big fan of CM Punk when he was around, but I wasn't watching a lot of wrestling in that frame when he was at his biggest at WWE. But I have seen stuff, you know, going back in the past. I've watched his documentaries, very good. And, of course, there's a lot of hype behind him, and there always has been. He's kind of got this cult, no pun intended, cult following. And, yeah, I'm excited to see what he still has. You know, he's a little older now. He's had a couple of UFC fights that didn't go quite his way. But I want to see how he does. Obviously, Darby Allin can go. Darby Allin can go, and he can bump his butt off and make Punk look great. So I think I don't know what the right thing is. People don't want to see Punk lose, but I think the reason he's there, and he even said it himself, was to build to the future, put over the newer, younger talent. So I think Darby Allin probably is winning, but I don't know if that's going to go over well with the crowd, especially in Chicago. This is my wild card guy. I'm going to say Darby Allin wins. But, yeah, I'm excited to see what CM Punk brings, and I'm excited to see how this match goes. And then finally, our main event is Christian Cage, the TNA championship. No, Impact champion. He retired the TNA championship. Taking on Kenny Omega for the AEW championship. So a few weeks ago, Christian Cage beat Kenny for the Impact TNA championships. He went on and retired the TNA one on Impact, and now, of course, is the Impact champion still. He is facing Kenny Omega because he beat him. Because before that he was the number one contender, so he gets that match here at All Out. So that's going to be probably your main event, because they want to keep the AEW championship the most prestigious thing in the company and on the card. So I don't think they'll put Punk first or as the main event, but you never know. It's kind of a special occasion with that one. So I don't think Kenny Omega's losing this. It's just not. Christian Cage is fantastic, obviously, and he's done all these great things. Legend, Hall of Famer, should be Hall of Famer. But Kenny still needs to lose the championship to Hangman Adam Page whenever that time comes. I don't see him losing this. Should be a great match. They had a great match for the Impact Championship, and I don't see this one being any different. Christian can still go in his older age. Of course, Kenny Omega is one of the best in the world, and he can carry a match if needed. I don't think Christian needs any carrying, but if for whatever reason it happens, Kenny Omega is the guy that can do it. So I think it'll be a fantastic match. Kenny Omega goes over, and Christian Cage can maybe focus more on the TNT champ. I keep saying TNT. Impact Championship, and maybe get some defenses on Dynamite and Rampage of that, as well as, of course, on Impact. So Kenny Omega will retain and set up the next program, which hopefully Adam Page comes out and they can start working towards that as they were before this happened. So there you have it, guys. Those are my predictions for All Out. Once again, it's good to be back. I'm glad I could do it this weekend with All Out. It is kind of a big show. It's been culminating for a while with the Punk return and the rumors of Daniel Bryan coming back, Bryan Danielson, coming to AEW. Lots of big matches. Maybe not as big as previous All Outs as far as maybe hype and anticipation other than the Punk return, but nonetheless, should be a good show. AEW has yet to disappoint with these big shows, so I don't see why they would start now, especially at their, All Out's like their big show that kind of based off of All In. Obviously, that started the kind of the origin story of AEW. So, thank you guys for watching. Again, keep a lookout for some more videos. I'll probably do a post. AEW review. Our AEW All Out review. I want to try and get that up to this weekend, obviously after the show. Maybe not immediately, but early next week. Like I said, a lot going on in life right now, so I'm trying to keep up. But I do want to keep making these wrestling content videos because I love doing them, and it's been fun getting some response from all you guys. So thank you guys again for checking out the video, and I'll see you after All Out. Peace.